let's get money, motherfucker, get money.
Yo, top of the morning, baby. How we doing today? Good morning. It is Tuesday, July the 23rd. Thank you for being here and spending this Thursday, July the 23rd with me. I want to use this stream to talk about market Cipher. I want to use this stream to talk about the market. And I want to use this stream to hang out, man. I think we might be in for a long trade here in a few. Not yet. But as you can see on the screen, I am actually short, okay? This was a short zone that I had given to my VIP members in the Discord. About a week ago now, I would say. And, you know, so far so good. It's playing out. We took another short yesterday. Really, really good short. And so we're chilling right now. The first target for this short is this guy. And I'm personally not looking for any longs until we come here. I absolutely believe that our draw of liquidity is on the lows here. I do think we're going to come and take this wick. I don't think it's time to long yet. Personally, I don't think it's time to long yet. But before I get into all of the flavor, as Tino would say, shouts out to Tino. Guys, how are you doing, man? It's been a hot minute since I went live. I've been working on some other things, but don't worry, the live streams are going to be here. I do like my scalping streams, like more than I like my screaming and singing and entertainment streams, but we'll see as the channel evolves. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Geo. Welcome to the G Spot. And every single day, well, for the most part, at least in the Discord. Every day I teach you guys why the market moves the way that it does. And I teach you how I knew how to short here and how I know to take profit down here. And then anything beyond this point is a gift, which I do think we could make our way somewhat down. But we'll have to wait and see. And we'll talk about that today. Hopefully, New York gives us a nice setup so that we could take it on stream. How are you guys? How was your weekend? How was your week? How are we feeling, everybody? Make sure to hit the like button before we get right into it. And thank you very much, Arctic Fox, for the $2 donation, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for being here. And everybody else, thank you guys for being here. Let me know if you are long or short and what you're looking at. For me personally, I really like the idea of bouncing somewhere in this zone for potentially a nice scalp. This is a little scalp trade that I'm looking at right now. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But I do want to talk about Market Cipher, because Market Cipher is kind of giving us some clues of a little bit of a pullback here. And I would say it's not really any surprise, just considering what's happened, what's transpired over the past few days. I also want to mention that, by the way, guys, give me a sound check. Let me know how I sound. Is the music a good volume? Let me know what's good. But I also want to mention that, fuck, what was I going to say? I don't even remember, man. I don't even remember. Bull divs on a lot of coins forming. I mean, man, listen, like, okay, let's go over it. Let's go over it all. Okay, let's go over it. So it doesn't need to be super complicated. You know, I say this almost every day. Okay. Trading doesn't need to be hard. Okay. It doesn't need to be difficult. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. So this week is a very important week for crypto, because obviously the whole thing with Trump talking at Bitcoin conference, Jungle Boy, I can't tell you what to do, but I would definitely not short here. I think it's going to come down, but this is not the place to short. The place to short was yesterday. But I mean, you do you. Yeah, I think it's a very important week for crypto in general, because the ETH ETF is officially approved. And I mean, I think ETH, like, look at how, dude, this whole zone, this whole range is manipulated. We already know we're in a short zone. Bitcoin is in a short zone. We weren't looking for longs up here, despite Market Cipher looking relatively bullish. You know, this looks bullish. The thicker the money, the more chance of divergences. So why am I short? Well, we're going to talk about that. But I think that this is a very important week for crypto because of that, and because of the whole Trump talking on Saturday thing, or whatever the case is. But we also need to understand context, right? You need to know where we are, right? Where are we? How did we get here? And look, like, this is my opinion. By the way, actually, I just reminded myself. Thank you for the reminder. Guys, disclaimer. All content presented is a complete joke and should not be taken seriously. Geo is an incompetent 5'2" 3/4" wannabe singing non-financial advisor. Crypto's a scam. Making money online is impossible. Global warming is real. The earth is flat. Cats are really good pets. Being fat is acceptable. You know, you guys know, man. Y'all ain't new here. Y'all ain't new here. If you guys are new here, if this is your first time here, drop me a donut emoji in the chat. Not that we eat those, but drop me a donut emoji if you guys are new here. So let's talk about Bitcoin, man. Why am I short right now? How did I get into this short position from up here yesterday? Why am I chilling? Why am I not sweating about it? Why does X marks the spot? Let's go over it all. Before we get into that, the first thing you need to know is that we are in a short zone. We've been in a short zone for quite some time. And in my opinion anyways, please refer back to the disclaimer. Everything that I say is just my opinion. But in my opinion, we are overextended on the daily time frame, okay? We have had a 28% move to the upside since we put in our low 2 weeks ago. So it's been relatively 2 weeks of nonstop up, which means already you should be looking for shorts, right? And I mean, this works the same both ways. So when we were at the high and when we came down, right? That was also 2 weeks of straight down. And then you should be looking for longs. After you have a relatively overextended move like that, you would have had a nice 10% move to the high, right? So same kind of deal, right? Same kind of deal. Am I saying we're going to get a 10% move to the low? Not in the slightest. But what I am saying is we are in a macro short zone, which is how I was able to give this box. This box was red prior to it being mitigated. This box was red. We know we're looking for shorts up here. We know we're not looking for longs. We know that within the confinements of this range, we are looking for a distribution to potentially send the price down. Now, there's a lot going on the screen, and we're not going to get too technical with it. But how did I know how to short? It's very simple. When you're in a short zone and you start to range, and then you come up to the highs of the range, you should be looking to short. And whenever you come down to the lows of the range, you should be looking to long. So right now, we are in our range, and we are in an extremely oversold, relatively oversold area of our range. And so right now, it does look like, based on the range, that we should be looking to long because we're at the lows of the range. So why am I still not longing? Why am I not interested in any longs until at the very minimum this low goes? Well, it's quite simple. And it's because if you pull up Market Cipher, which, by the way, in the event that you don't know, is the official sponsor of the channel. So shouts out to Market Cipher. The link is in the description down below. You can see that over time here, you have money very heavily coming out. Like, look at the 2-hour time frame. And if you're not new to the channel, then you know that this is a spike wave. Essentially, what a spike wave is where you're getting divergences with momentum waves, which we absolutely are. Okay, your divergences are quite simple. Okay, the divs are easy, right? The divs are your momentum waves are making lower highs while your price is making a higher high. So when you're seeing this on a serious time frame, like the 2-hour time frame, and you already know you're in a short zone, you should already not be looking to gig along it, right? So you have money flow coming out, so you have the momentum waves giving you the divergences, but you also have spike waves. And if you don't know what a spike wave is, it is essentially a term that I created where your money flow and your momentum waves are giving you divergences. And we can absolutely see that here. And so just based on Market Cipher alone, because Market Cipher is the only indicator that you need, we already know that we're in resistance, you can already expect this range to break down as opposed to breaking up. Okay? Now, there are many factors that we could take into consideration when it comes to this, like all the news and like the Nashville shit and the Trump talking at the Bitcoin convention and, the ear thing with Trump and Biden resigning and all that news-based stuff. But as for the technicals, and I am a technical trader, as for the technicals, Market Cipher says it wants down. Okay, it says it wants to break the range down. And so naturally, when you're at the highs of the range, you're always going to be looking for shorts. You're not going to be looking for, you could still take your scalp longs for sure, but when you're getting these signals on Market Cipher, you should be looking to hold the shorts a little bit more than you should be looking to hold the longs. And it makes sense because what happens after you have a large move in one direction, right? Large move in one direction, you get somewhat of a retracement. Large move in one direction, we haven't had a retracement. And that's not to say that we're guaranteed going to break down, but trading is about probabilities. And Market Cipher right now is telling us a story, and it's saying perhaps it wants to come a little bit lower, okay? And it just makes sense. Whenever you have a break of structure to the upside, you will usually, like, this is structure, right? You'll get this. We haven't had this yet, right? We haven't had that part yet. So I'm not saying it's going to zero, right? We are scalping. We are scalping. So don't be weird. But right now, your structure is this. Where's our pullback? We haven't had it. Even here, you could argue this was just a range. This is just a range. Perhaps you break out and then you just range here as well, right? But we haven't had this, the pullback. We haven't had it. So because Market Cipher is giving us those spike waves on the 2-hour time frame, you need to be a little bit cautious, to say the least, okay? Now, you could argue the 4-hour Geo looks very bullish. It absolutely does, and I'm not suggesting that it doesn't. And to anybody that is not new on the channel, knows and understands the number one rule when it comes to market cipher, which I also invented, is the thicker the money flow, the more chances of divergences. So if we look, we have thick money flow. Shouts out to Dice. We have thick money flow here on the 4-hour time frame. So why am I short? We have our first wave, we have our first pump, we have our second wave, our second cluster of divergences right now, which is giving us this wave here. So based on my rules with market cipher, it does make sense to get something like this, where perhaps here we have another cluster of waves where money starts to come out and then we get one last push up. Okay, this makes sense. We also have a swing short level. Okay, I'm going to say that again. We have a swing short level just above where we are right now, a swing short level. And in the event that this comes into fruition on the 4-hour time frame, I would have a lot of confidence with my swing short to then send price significantly lower. Okay, you can see if you're following your market maker model, you have rise, retrace, rise, retrace. It does make sense to have one more rise, M formation, drop level 1, drop level 2, drop level 3. If you don't know what that means, that's okay. You don't need to know what it means, but basically we are almost approaching a swing short zone. And if this happens, then I will have confidence in the swing short. So why am I short now if we're not there yet? If you follow the channel, then you also know something that I created is called the cheat sheet entry. Right now, we would be having, minus the fact that there are no vectors to recover, but that can change. We would be having a 4-hour cheat sheet entry if we come down to my scalp trade zones, okay? Our 50 EMA resides around 65.4, okay? And it can price can bounce anywhere really in this area, which is why the TA, the zone, is so large. But in the event that it decides to hold this 50 EMA, which it very well may, you're likely at that point going to get your white dot below the zero line with thick white money flow, indicating a 4-hour cheat sheet entry to come and take the high. So on the 4-hour, we could expect something like this, then come up, then come here, then the money starts pouring out. Then we have our nice new wave of divergences. There's your swing short. And then from there, we can ride price way further down. Basically is what I'm seeing right now with market cipher. So market cipher tells the story. Market cipher is absolutely telling us what's going to happen in the future. And if you're interested in this indicator called market cipher, then you know, I have strategies around it. Very easy concept. So we're gonna hide the EMAs because we don't need them currently. That's the more macro of it. Now locally, we're gonna have to wait and see. We're already short from yesterday and we're ready to TP at this low. So when this low gets hit, we're gonna hit our TP and we're just chilling, and then we're gonna see what happens from there. Shouts out to Naj Day, says bro, I'm finally live. I know, man. I've been working on a lot of stuff for the VIP members with the whole Nexus thing. So, but we're gonna be coming back to live daily, and we're gonna be scalping together. Right on the queue, short the tops, long the bottoms. Yes, sir. Now I'm gonna say this. Hold on. I'm gonna say this, okay? My longs haven't been getting hit, and my shorts have been hitting TP1 and then getting stopped out. So I've actually been very much so sidelined these past couple of weeks, not only because I don't trade weekends and the moves have been happening on the weekends, but also prices not retracing enough for me to like be crazy about the longs. Yesterday, for example, we had a nice bull div down here at these lows. I just didn't think it was worth taking the trade, so I never took it. And it wasn't in one of my long zones. I'm not really a golden pocket 618 kind of trader. Okay, not that I don't use them, I do, but I use them in confluence with my order blocks, and I didn't have, this was not one of my levels So despite seeing that divergence, I still never took that trade. And you know, I'm always keeping in mind my overall narrative. I'm always keeping in mind my higher time frame structure. I'm keeping in mind that we are in a more macro resistance. And so when I see a little bull div on the 10-minute time frame, I'm not necessarily going to take that trade, because to me, it's not worth it. Lately, listen, I've played the game where I tried to get in every trade and I felt like I always needed to be in a trade, etc. But lately, I'm only interested in the high probability stuff. Otherwise, I don't think it's worth it. And yeah, unless it's a Nexus setup, then I'm not really interested. And so lately, at least in this range, I've kind of been sidelined because, like I said, the shorts, like I shorted here. For example, I shorted here, TP'd the low, and I thought we were going to go lower from here, because here you had your first tap, second tap, third tap. I thought this was the high. I did not think that we were going to come and dance around here even more, even further. I personally didn't think that was going to happen. So, you know, I did take profit on the lows, and then I got stopped out like right away. And I tweeted this, right? I tweeted it. And I got stopped out literally right away after. I TP'd, so it was still a winner. But you know what I'm saying? So, you know, lately the trend has been the shorts hit TP1 and get stopped out. The long setups are not even getting hit because they just, we're very reminiscent of up only mode, right? Everything seems to be up only, but I'm not sweating it, because one day one of my long setups will hit, and then when they do, it'll pay out more than any little baby pumps and baby dumps that we got going on. But even within the confinements of this range, like, structure is all over the fucking place. Like, you know, look at how structure, okay, up, flips, kind of bearish, SFPs some, doesn't SFP others, then flips back to bullish, right? Then immediately flips back to bearish, immediately flips back to bullish, immediately flips back to bearish. Like, we're very, like, it's weird price action right now. Nice chest. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Shouts out to Dave Digital. Guys, do me a solid. We got 110 people in here, and we only have 30 likes. So do me a solid. Hit the like button for me. Let's see if we can get this trade set up. So for me, if you're just tuning in, welcome. And what I'm looking for is to sweep this low. I believe that we do have some sell side liquidity. We sweep the low, and we potentially come down to like 65-ish K. We have a few long setups down here, but really the long setups are all the same. They're all the same idea, where with confirmation we'll take them. So it could bounce from here, it could bounce from here, it could bounce from here, it could bounce from here. I don't know. So they're all the same setups. But they're like, if I pull up my positions, there's a bunch of positions, but we're not taking all of the positions. Like, I'm just indicating that it could bounce from anywhere. But for now, I very much so like, let's say, give or take 64.8. So we'll have to wait and see if we get that. And you know, like I said, that could be a 4-hour cheat sheet entry that we find ourselves in, which could take us to a new high, which could take us to our swing short zone, which we could swing all the way down. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. Have I taken profit on the shorts? I have taken profit on the shorts. I have. I actually took profit and then I re-entered. I took profit when we came in, we hit this low, and then we came up, and then I took profit when we hit the low again, and then I re-entered up here. And the only reason I took the short, I took profit on the short, is because I understand that lately the trend has been, like I said, TP1 gets hit on the short, and then you get stopped out, because we're very reminiscent of up only mode, like I said. So the only reason I took profit is for that reason. But in a normal setting, when we didn't have all these bullish narratives manipulating the price, manipulating the technicals, like we did during the Bitcoin ETF, then I would hold the short and I would be confident in the short. But here, like I said, I thought this was going to be the high, and then they gave us higher again. Like it's weird. It's weird price action. Very weird price action. All right. Buenos dias. Good morning, my friend. Southside liquidity. Yes, sir. Yo, Dave, are you going to Nashville? I was going to go, but I decided I'm going to just stay in and do some work. How's my shorts going? Shorts are doing good. Ty's in the chat. What's up, brother? What is up, my brother? What is up? So we'll see what happens here. No trades yet for me. I'm personally not touching anything else within this range. Within these two yellow lines. Within these two yellow lines, I'm not touching anything anymore. We either touch this low or we touch the high. I'm not touching anything else. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to get ETH ETF live. We'll talk about that. But I'm gonna go get water real quick, so do me a solid, hit the likes. I'll be back in like literally 30 seconds. All right. To ETH ETF being live. Okay, that's a good question. So the thing about ETH, right? Dude, look how, first of all, look how shitty this price action is. That's first of all. Here are my thoughts on ETH. Here's what I think in general, okay? Here's what I think in general. I think in general, Ethereum. Here's what I think. In general, I believe that Bitcoin right now is ready for a rollover. Okay? That's what I believe. Nothing crazy, but as I mentioned, you know, the way that we even got here is your structure is up, down, up. We need to get the down, right? We need to get the mitigation. That's my opinion. Now, because we haven't had that yet, and ETH is doing something similar, okay? ETH, by the way, if you don't know, ETH is obsessed with trend lines, okay? ETH respects trend lines so well, and I fucking hate trading ETH because I like liquidity, okay? When I'm trading, I'm always focused on liquidity. I'm focused more so on where market makers might attack longs in this case, as opposed to, oh, we're at a trend line, let me long it here. I'm way more like, oh shit, they're about to run all these lows. So when ETH does this garbage for fucking ever, right? ETH could do this for 3 weeks and just respect this line for 3 weeks. I hate it for that reason, okay? But my opinion on ETH is we have a level just above where we are, where we could be potentially looking for shorts. But I believe that right now the price is being manipulated based around the news and everything else that's happening this week. Now, the majority of the time, whenever you have ETFs, whenever you have news like Biden resigning or Trump getting shot in the ear or whatever else, whenever you in general have news like this, you know, lately anyways, I'll say for this cycle, the TAs goes out the fucking door. Okay? So you're going to get 2-hour spike waves. You're going to get 4-hour spike waves. You're going to get this, that, and the other spike waves. and price just absolutely ignores all of that, and the news just overwrites everything else. And you can see it. The last couple weekends have just been straight up. We haven't filled any CME gaps. We haven't had any decent retracements, any notable retracements, nothing, right? So what I think, my thoughts on Ethereum is Ethereum has been pumping, right? And it's been pumping against Bitcoin, which typically doesn't happen. So when Bitcoin is down 1% and Ethereum is up 2% like it was earlier today, that typically doesn't happen. So what I believe is that people are buying into the ETH ETF narrative as they did with the Bitcoin ETF narrative, okay? Remember what happened when Bitcoin had its ETF launch. It literally went up only, and it ignored every single divergence humanly possible, okay? And it tripped up a lot of people, myself included, right? And so understanding that, knowing that that's a possibility, etc., then I think that this entire move, this is my opinion, I think that this entire move, even Bitcoin, is just news driven, okay? And if you go to the past couple of weekends, right, the majority of the pumps that we had out of fucking nowhere were like, for example, and I remember this because I was trading, or I was working a wedding, and I was short, and the short was going well, and we hit TP, and then the next second I got stopped out. And it was like when the assassination failed, price just pumped. So that was like not based on technicals, right? When Biden quit yesterday, that move, or 2 days ago, whenever, that move, we just got a massive pump out of nowhere again, right? And so I believe right now is a very sensitive time because it is very news driven. I think things are very news driven. Now, normally things are baked into the charts, okay? Normally they're baked into the charts, and normally they are predictable. And I would say, yes, that is the case, that like had you had been trading on Sunday at 1:30 my time, you could absolutely say that you had bull divs and this was a good place to long. But I think that they're not, because of the ETF narrative, they don't send price as low when it comes to the shorts as at least I would like them to go in terms of hitting my clean setups. Okay? So understanding that, and that's why I said at the beginning that the kind of trend here, has been the shorts get TP1 and then stopped out, and the longs, like, I've been kind of sidelined because they're not sweeping the lows. And this is the same shit that they did in October. This is the same shit when it was in up only mode, and this is the same shit that when it was the Bitcoin ETF turn. So my opinion on the ETH ETF as of right now, because I think that Bitcoin needs its pullback, I think that the ETH ETF is, and the fact that ETH loves these trend lines, I think that it's being respected because of the ETF. I think it's a fabricated move. Like, I don't think it's sustainable. And Market Cipher at least agrees, right? Because we're getting spike waves, we're getting money pouring out, we're getting money coming into the red while we're getting higher prices. I made a video like a week ago saying that ETH was at macro resistance and ETH was showing us signs of a distribution, and we still haven't hit the target of the distribution because it failed. We came in, we took the high again, right? So a lot of things are going on right now. It's very news driven. And what I think is that if this week is a green week, I think next week is going to be a red week. That's what I think. Because typically what happens is whenever Bitcoin has these conferences and whatever else, they typically sell all of these conferences. They're usually all bearish. Shouts out to Alex O Crypto. BTC dumped after ETF approval. Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is it pumped prior to the ETF. It pumped like into the ETF. So it was a buy the rumor, sell the whatever. You know? And then after that, it was literally up only. That's what I'm saying now. Ebba Mark says denial phase. You're saying people are in denial or I'm in denial? I don't care, bro. I'm a scalper. I literally don't give a shit. I don't even care about price. I trade the chart. You could hide the numbers and I'll trade it the exact same way. I don't care about the price. But that's just my opinion. I also need to mention that I am not in the slightest like very well versed with the news. Not at all. I don't even know what blockchain means. Don't know what it means. Don't know what it is. Don't care what it is. You know, I was going to go to the Bitcoin conference thing and I don't care about it. Don't care about Bitcoin. I personally don't. I care about money. I care about trading. I don't care about all the news and all that shit. Personally. Okay, now let's talk about, let's come back to BTCZ here. So we know that, again, look, we could pump from here. For me, I'm not touching anything anymore until this yellow line or this yellow line is touched. I'm not touching it. And right now, we are, if we're following our structure from the down to the up, you have down, oh, you have down, you got up, you got down, you got up. What time frame are we on? 15? Let's come up higher. We're definitely getting an SFP right now. We're getting an SFP of some kind. I think... Okay, your actual technical structure... Man... I don't really know right now. This is why I'm over this range, dude. This is exactly what's happening right now. Is why I'm over this range. $800 pump. $800 pump here, and how much time was that? $800 pump in like 20 minutes, let's say, give or take. While we're this close to the low and didn't sweep that liquidity, that's kind of been the narrative here. You know, like I said. You know, that's kind of been it. When am I gonna buy some altcoins? Man, like, I don't... Look, I'm keeping my eye on a few altcoins. I'm keeping my eye on, more importantly, like, I'm watching the alt Bitcoin pairs. Okay, like, I'm keeping my eye on Dogecoin. I'm keeping my eye on ADA. I'm keeping my eye on Ethereum, right? Like, I'm keeping my eye on these things. And I think that when I think Bitcoin, or when I'm more certain that Bitcoin has bottomed out, if the Bitcoin alt pairs look good, then I will buy them. But this is my thought process, okay? And I could be wrong for it, and this is just my opinion. This is just how I think. Look, I'm not deploying $100,000 in alts, for example. Like, I'm not putting 100K in alts, which means I'm not able to make, like, what I'll call cycle changing money, because I'm not putting 100K in. So with that in mind, right, with that in mind, the way that I'm approaching this, and this is just me, keep in mind, guys, I am a trader. I need you to understand, I do crypto primarily, but I do not care about crypto. I, in the slightest, could not care less. If Bitcoin goes to 100K, great. If Bitcoin goes to 0, great. Like, I don't care. I'm not a crypto enthusiast. I am a trader. I trade. If you gave me a milk chart, I could trade it, right? I don't care about the asset. I don't care about the news. I don't care if Bitcoin is the new technology. I don't care that, you know, you can build games on Solana. Like, for me, I don't care. I strictly trade. I don't give a shit about what it is. I don't. So, you know, my thought process is, even if I had 100K to put into alts, yeah, I would take it in a trading approach, but my 100K could serve me better in USDT, and I use that as collateral, unless I'm trading inverse perpetual, but I use that as collateral and I leverage it. So I don't really care to buy spot, because I can make more money trading futures. Right? Like, I can make more money trading Bitcoin with that same USDT than I can make on, you know, for example, buying whatever that may or may not work out in the end. So that's kind of my opinion. Like, I don't know, once you learn to trade Bitcoin, or any asset for that matter, like, once you can get good at it, number one, you eliminate FOMO. Like, you don't ever feel FOMO. But number two, Like, I don't really, like, I don't, you know, I don't care. And that's why when people say like, oh, I missed the boat. I mean, I was buying in the bear market. Yeah, but it's not like I'm not eager to buy right now when we're up 200%. Like, where's Bitcoin? For example, I know you asked about altcoins, but right now, where's Bitcoin going to go? Maybe, what, 150K? Maybe. I personally don't even think it's going to get to 100K, but maybe it gets to 100K. Maybe it gets to 200K. I don't know. Okay, you double your money. Great. I could have a 200% trade in like 15 minutes. So I don't really care. I don't know. I'm not like everybody else, man. Everybody else is like an enthusiast and shit. I do not care about Bitcoin. I don't at all. Literally at all. Don't care. Don't know what it does. Don't know what blockchain means. Couldn't tell you. I know it's like electronic gold. And the government doesn't fuck with it. That's what I know. Nothing else I know. So I'll maybe buy some alts when I think Bitcoin is for sure bottomed out, but I'm not convinced that it has done that. I'm not convinced yet. And it serves me a lot better to scalp it anyway. So, Gio, what do I think that the 3-hour money flow is going to take us? I mean, Geo is the Bitcoin version of I'm not like other girls. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I think the 3-hour... Oh, by the way, Naj Day, thank you very much for the donation. Can I check S&P? Yeah, I'll check S&P here in a second. I think that the 3-hour... So look, here's what I'm going to say again. For me, I am no longer interested in any positions, whether or not like this high or this low needs to go. Okay? I'm not interested in anything else aside from that. I'm already in a short position. I'm not in any longs at the moment. I don't care if it goes higher from here. I'll just catch the next long when the next setup comes in. Like I don't feel FOMO. I don't care, right? But here's what I'm going to tell you. We have a more macro resistance level just above where we are. So if we come up and we take the high again, I will absolutely look to short it again. What I will tell you, and which I covered at the beginning of the stream, is we have potentially a 4-hour cheat sheet entry coming into fruition. If price were to come down to the 50 EMA, which is somewhere around here, which is where my long setup is, then I think that we could get a nice 4-hour cheat sheet entry, where from that point, we'll get a move higher into that macro resistance up here, and then we'll have to adjust and analyze what happens up here. But aside from that, again, I'm not interested in any longs until that low goes. And you know, so I think that the money flow has potential to, you know, do something like this, where it comes down and then we start getting green vectors. Like after this is what I think is gonna happen. After we come down, maybe fill some of this fair value gap, which is where the long zones are. We get some green vectors that push us through the range, something like this over the rest of the week. Okay, get some nice green vector candles. Maybe you get your 3 push, so maybe it looks something like this, right? We come down, we take the low, we get 3 pushes to the high, we start to consolidate. This is probably going to be a blue vector candle, right? We start to consolidate here, we form a distribution, and then from there, you know, we'll see what happens, right? But that's what I think might happen. And then your 4-hour would look something like this, where your money flow is starting to come out. You have your third cluster of like red dots, right? So here's your 1, here's your 2, here's your 3. While your money flow starts to come out, while you're coming into a macro resistance level, which this is, then we can maybe get a strong pullback from there, right? And that would also be following our market maker model, which is rise level 1, rise level 2, rise level 3, M formation, drop level 1, drop level 2, drop level 3, right? That is, give or take, I'm looking at something like that. Geo against the grain. I mean, look, man, like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know about it or I care about it. When I learned how to trade, I learned how to trade so that I could become financially free, so that I could work for myself. I didn't learn how to trade because I, like, have a boner for blockchain. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me. All right, let's check S&P. So that's what I'm kind of thinking is going to happen. But I do, and whether or not we take the low before that happens is a different story. I can't tell you if we're going to or not. I don't have a long zone until that low goes. So if I miss the long, which I've been missing longs because it's been happening on weekends and I don't trade weekends, then that's fine. I'll just get the next trade. It's literally no problem. Okay, S&P. SPX. SPX on the monthly. Okay. Can I check S&P on the monthly? It looks bad. I don't think that the monthly looks bad. Not really. I think that the S&P might continue its push here for quite some time. Okay? And it's quite simple. Did this? No. And it's quite simple why, okay? The reason why is because the number one rule when it comes to market cipher is the thicker the money flow, the more chances of divergences. Look, I'm going to be the first one to tell you that I have absolutely no idea how to trade all-time highs, okay? What will happen if I do end up trading an all-time high is I will wait for a range and I will trade the range. But I do not do the fib extension thing, okay? To me, this doesn't make any sense. I'm not hating on it. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm saying I don't even know where it is. Where the hell is fib extension? Trend fade, like, so like for example, with me, oh my, did I just fuck that up? I don't do this. This shit, again, not to knock it. I'm not hating on it. To each their own. This doesn't make sense to me, right? To me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. But what I will tell you that does make sense is the thicker the money flow, the more chances of divergences. And on the monthly time frame, we still got very thick money flow. I think that the S&P had potential to roll over, but now that we're starting to get these waves that are invalidating the more recent monthly waves, what I'm thinking is, you should always be looking for this pattern. Always. On Market Cipher, you should always be looking for that. And so if you were to draw this out, right, something like this, for example, let's just say it's like short term like this. Like, look how short that is, right? While money continues coming out here like that, then this is the point in which we might have a significant move down. That's still like 2 years away. Now, obviously, there's no way for us to predict the timing of it. And obviously, we can use other time frames to kind of decipher what is likely or what is not likely to happen. However, when it comes from the S&P, or when it comes to the monthly alone, you know, maybe you'll get a pullback eventually, right? You know, your structure is this. And once you have a break of structure, you should generally be like looking for a pullback for a continuation, because nothing can go up forever. But that could take a lot of time to play out. Okay? That could take a lot of time to play out. A lot of time. The daily is looking not as great as, like, the monthly is obviously looking good. Obviously, we have the gap that we can fill. I don't trade S&P. I don't know how well it respects the gaps. But what I will tell you is, what did I say? We are always looking for this pattern. Always. So perhaps, you know, we get something like this over the next couple weeks, and you might get your monthly pullback, perhaps, let's just say hypothetically, in August, late August, where you do get that pullback. Maybe you hit this gap and then you continue higher from there, right? So it's all about context. It's all about looking for this pattern, right? Or in this case, this pattern. It's all about that. Joe, do I hold any spot bags? I do hold some spot bags, but I don't have like hundreds of thousands in spot bags. Like, I don't have any like what I'll call significant skin in the game to make like life-changing money. I don't really Crazy how biased I am. Haven't seen a trader with such a bias in a while. Can you please elaborate? What is my bias, bro? Let me know. What am I biased about right now? What am I biased about? You tell me. I have a range. I'm looking for shorts at the high of the range. I'm looking for longs at the low of the range. What am I biased about? And I said, for me, I'm not going to touch any more trades in this range until one of those two yellow lines, or until either the range high or the range low is hit. Because of the manipulation in the range, I don't think there's any high probability setups in the range. So please tell me, indulge me, all I do is short. That is not true, my friend. That is absolutely not true. I have long zones. They're just not getting hit. My longs are not getting hit, bruv. Why would I only short? That makes no sense. Okay, man. Whatever you say, bruv. I don't hate longing. They're not coming down to my longs. Okay, you're right. I'm lying to myself. You're right. You're right. Listen, I'll tell you this. When it comes... Bro, Dice, it's okay. It's okay. I'll tell you this. When it comes to... when it's time to short, come back on the channel. Okay? Come back on the channel when it's time to short, and I'll give you a nice... I'll give you a nice short setup. Okay? I'll give you a nice short setup. Bro, when the market's been doing literally this... Like, okay, look, watch. Look how stupid you sound. Ready, watch. So from the all-time high, okay? If you're gonna draw your golden pocket, look how dumb you sound, okay? Where are we right now? Where are we right now, macroly? Okay? Well, all I like to do is short. Where are we? Tell me where we are. Dude, I'm not bugging at all. You think I care about some dude that's chirping me, but he's the one in here watching me? Like, you're watching me, bro. You're watching me, man. I'm not watching you. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. See what happens here. I'm not interested in anything until the high or the low of the range is taken. And then we will have to reassess and reanalyze. We are getting... I mean, we had a little baby div here. We got vectors now beneath us that are being created. We do have a 30-minute spike wave to the upside. So I can't say I'm surprised by the move. But what I'll say is I'm surprised that we didn't take this wick. Again, surprised we're not taking the liquidity. And so, you know, we have the long zones beneath the this low. Had we have taken the low, I would entertain a long. But like I said, for me, I'm not interested in any positions until either that low or this high is taken. Not interested. I'm over this range. There is mad manipulation in this range. Yeah. I risk max 4 digits and are biased AF. Please stop trading. You're misleading your followers. Okay, man. Okay. Whatever you say. Okay. Don't watch then, bruv. Don't watch it. Don't watch. It's okay, bro. It's okay. It's okay. Don't watch. It's as simple as that. Don't watch. It ain't that hard, bruv. Mark, it's all good, bro. It's all good. Listen, proof of work will always win. You know, proof of work will literally always win. It is completely fine. I ain't mad at it. I wish you the best, my friend. If this ain't the channel for you, then don't watch. And I hope you find the channel that you're looking for. Guys, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No need to feed on negative energy. Dude, it's not about negative or not negative. Man, look, it's fine. He's entitled. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That's it. It's fine. It's all good, boys. I'm going to keep doing my thing. And listen, what I've been doing is working, right? And look, when we were here, right? People were hating on me here. When we were here, people were hating on me. And I was like, yo, the market looks like shit. We're going way lower. We're going way lower. We're going way lower. And what did retail and what did probably this guy say? Ready, watch. When we were here, did you buy the dip? We're going so much higher. Did you buy the dip? We're going so much higher. Did you buy the dip? We're going so much higher. Did you buy the dip? We're going so much higher. Ready, watch. I'm not even done. Look. Did you buy the dip? We're going so much higher. Did you buy the higher low? We're going so much higher. Until eventually, it finally hit, you know? Until eventually. So, it's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. I'll tell you the difference, okay? I'll tell you the difference. The difference is I don't sit here and say 100% I know that it's gonna do this or I know it's gonna do that. And I'm apparently negative for it. I say, what did I say? When we were down here, when we were down here, like 30 minutes ago, I said, I'm not touching any trades until this low is hit or this high is hit. When we were all the way down here. That's what I said. So I'm biased, man. I'm biased. I'm biased, guys. You can't hate a man who's dancing and trading. Yeah, I mean, guys, it's fine. It's fine. Honestly, fine. I'll tell you this. Your internal structure from the high. Look, we've been flipping and flopping. Look at this, right? We went down, we went up, we went down. Break a structure to the downside. Change of character or break a structure to the upside. Immediate break a structure back down to the downside. Immediately now we're breaking back to the upside. So this range is absolutely just ranging, right? And so when you're at the low, and what I say, man, when you're at the lows of the range, you should be looking for longs. When you're at the highs of the range, you should be looking for shorts. You know, it is quite simple. He was probably just waiting for me to feed the long. But yeah, that's true. That's actually a good point. I'll tell you this, man. I'll tell you this. And I said it. Like, one of the first things I said in this stream was that I've kind of been a little bit sidelined because my longs haven't been hitting and the shorts have been TP1 stop loss at entry. If the longs hit, right? Like, I got long zones here. If this guy hits, I will long it. If it doesn't hit, I'm not longing it. Right? My entries is not based on some random bum on YouTube telling me like, oh, I'm biased. Like, that doesn't change my plan. That doesn't change my plan. I don't care, man. You know, all the power to you. God bless you, my dude. God bless you. I'll tell you this. We're hitting an order block right now. We got a strong green vector candle right now. And so, watch my biased ass, guys. Watch my biased ass. If this becomes an SFP, then this becomes your target. If this becomes your target, then you're probably coming down to this guy. If you come down to this guy, you're likely going to come down to 65K. where we could potentially get that 4-hour cheat sheet entry to then send price higher. Right? So the next 13 minutes are very important. Why could this order block work, guys? Listen, I'm biased. I'm 5'2 3/4 and I'm biased. Right? Why could it work? Well, it's also the point of control of the range. You have an order block that wasn't mitigated prior to that order block that is the point of control of the range. So let's just assume price is going to reject from anywhere. It makes a lot of sense for it to reject from here. Right? We're at the point of control of the range. We got the order block. So now, simple, watch. If you get a nice break of structure up here, let's say you get this. Boom, 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 boom. Why are we not going to short that? Why would we not short that? Right? And just the same as if you got a break of structure on the lows. But did we have any structure to work with on the lows? No, you didn't until this point right here. Right? This is where structure broke. But what takes precedent? Your 2-minute break of structure or your 1 hour potential SFP, right? If this SFP is, then we're going to go down. So let's just say this happens, right? Let's just say my biased ass, it works out and we do get this. Then I will gladly accept an apology card from that guy. Whatever the fuck his name is. I will forgive him. I will. And if it doesn't, then cool, man. I hope he's long and I hope he makes money. Like, you know? Everybody that's long, I hope you make money. Everybody that's short, I hope you make money. Like, he should have known if he wanted to long. When we got a double bull div, you probably would have taken it. And yo, that's a fair point, bro. Just like this low yesterday. I saw this literally in real time. I saw this. I didn't take it though. This div, I didn't take it because I wanted this low gone. You know? Look at how manipulated this range is. It's very simple, man. Drew, what's up, brother? Good morning. How you doing, my friend? Geo is not a hater. He came for the roast. Yeah. What's the 1 hour SFP? Well, let's take a look at the 1 hour SFP, okay? So if you're taking structure right now from the high to the low, here's your structure, okay? Your structure on the 1 hour is down, up, down, broke structure, and then broke structure again bearishly. Okay? Meaning that now, based on structure, price is allowed on the 1 hour. Price is allowed to come up as high as this point while still remaining bearish. So you can get a lower high, lower low like this, right? You're allowed to get that. So now it is our job to identify. Is it a 2 hour? Let's see if it's a 2 hour. Yeah, it would be a 2 hour as well. It could be a 2 hour as well. You're right. So based on that logic now, it's our job to identify where price could reject from if the expectational order flow is going to remain, right? If this is going to remain intact, right? We are looking for the lower high to then make a lower low. Where could it come into? Well, we have a 2 hour order block here. Why is this a 2 hour order block? It was the last buy to sell prior to breaking structure. So we broke structure, our last buy to sell. We have a green vector candle right now, which we know can get recovered. Okay. Green vector, which we know when we can roll over and get recovered. And so now when we do see in this, remember, this order block also resides perfectly with the point of control of the range. So we have confluence there, right? Let's pull the volume from the high to the low and see where the point of control is. Let's see. I didn't even do this. I haven't tested it. Oh, would you look at that? The down volume point of control is also, let me make sure extend right is not on. Okay, so your down volume point of control and your range point of control both now are in the exact same place at a point where it makes sense for you to have a lower high to make a lower low. So now if we see confirmations, then we can say this trade makes sense because it's just following the upward structure. Remember, when I gave these short setups, because we are in a short zone, when I gave the short setups, then I'm expecting this low to go. So we'll have to see. Shouldn't the previous 2-hour low be at 66235? Yeah. It is. But look here, I know I skipped that point, but look, if you, it's really the same idea. Like that's why this is your 2-hour SFP, right? This is literally why it is your 2-hour SFP. Otherwise it wouldn't be, right? Otherwise it wouldn't be. But that's what I was basically getting at. Like, this could be an SFP level where we come down. Now, a lot can happen in the next hour, right? So that's why we just wait for the confirmation. Like I said, if you now get a 2-minute structure flip somewhere, if you get this, why not try to short it, understanding that that could be your 2-hour SFP to then make a lower low? But apparently I'm biased. And if it doesn't give you the confirmation, then you don't take the trade. Like, it's so easy, dude. It's not that hard. Anyways, we wish that guy the best. I don't know. He's a hater, but we wish him the best. I think guy wanted to make Geo mad. Yeah, maybe. I mean, look, I'm not mad, dude. Look, I've been doing this now for quite some time, and this is what I've come to learn. Not even just from myself, but from other traders as well. Anybody that gives somewhat of a prediction, even if they say like, oh, I don't know. Like, okay, anyone that gives any kind of price prediction, here's, first of all, everybody comes on YouTube to understand what is going on because nobody knows for sure. Okay, even though I tell you I don't know for sure what's going to happen, and I give my long setups and my short setups every day. Okay, if I give, let me show you, right? So everyone comes on YouTube because they want to understand what's going on. This guy is here because he wants to know what's going on. He doesn't know either, right? Everybody that's saying Bitcoin is going to 100K, nobody knows that they're going to, right? So if I have a short zone here, and then I have a short zone here, and then I have a short zone here, and then I have a short zone here, okay? And I have a long zone here. I get a long zone here, and a long zone here, right? And price is here, okay? If it's like this, and then we're in the short zone, and then it doesn't play out, and then we come up, and then we're in this short zone, and then it doesn't play out, and then we're in this short zone, and then it doesn't play out. And then eventually, as that happens, you know, price develops and we have new long zones. And none of the longs are hit. And only the shorts are here. But the shorts are not playing out. Apparently, I am biased because all I do is short. But they're only in the shorts. Geo, you're fuming? Bro, I'm not fuming, man. Listen, this is where I'm getting at. I've been doing this now for a year and a half almost. And I've been fumed before. But, man, I don't care, dude. I don't care. Man, listen, the proof of work wins. At the end of the day, the proof of work wins. I don't care. And I know that I don't care. And you guys know that I don't care. So, like, you know, it's not a big deal. But people come and watch streamers because they don't know what's going on and they want to make sense of it. But it's funny that I'm biased because it's funny that he thinks I'm biased because I'm like, there are very few that actually, like, man, I say, dude, it could do this, it could do that. Like, I don't know. I don't know any more than you guys do. I just do my analysis and I stick to my plan and that's it. You know? It's very simple, very easy. I'm not trying to mislead anybody. I tell you guys the same thing. If we're here with confirmation, we take it. If we're there without it, we don't. Simple. For the longs and the shorts. Yeah, man, the trading wars. So I'm very busy with the new VIP right now. I'm very, very busy with the new VIP, getting all that stuff ready for the end of the summer. So I was invited to go, and shouts out to Crypto Keeper, I believe his name is. And but I actually turned it down for this season because I have too much work to do. That's why I haven't even been streaming really either, because I've been working on like some internal stuff. That's why. Basically. That is why. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Didn't mean to trigger you, but it's in the no traders versus noise traders. The rest is guessing. You can have your bias. Nothing is wrong with that. Bro, you didn't trigger me. You didn't trigger me. My short zones are being hit and my long zones are not being hit. As simple as that. It's as simple as that. If we're in one of my long zones, I'll take it. If we're not and it keeps going higher and I'm not in it, I'm not gonna FOMO in because I don't need to FOMO in. I don't need to. Don't need to. What do I use for confirmation? Well, you can use market cipher, right? Looking for spike waves at these levels. So right now, for example, or you can use structure, right? Structure is the safer way to do it. And if you're given a retest and you're fortunate enough to get a retest, you can get a really nice risk to reward while waiting for your structure confirmations. But I use market cipher as well because I have a thorough understanding of this indicator. And, you know, it can help you get into like positions where your structure, for example, is not giving you the, like, you're not getting the structure confirmations, or you're not able to based on the structure that is presented. So I'll give you an example right now, okay? Let's just assume that money flow didn't look like how it does right now. Right now, there's no market cipher short, right? Remember, this is a 2-hour short zone, or a 2-hour. You could potentially SFP on the 2-hour here, and we have a 2-hour order block here, which is why obviously we stopped within this area. Okay, now you don't just take any trade because you're there, whether it's short or long. Okay, right now we're in, this could be a short, and remember, I'm not trading anything until the range high or the range low is taken. So this is no fucking bias. This is right now, market cipher is not giving you an entry. So, and structure is not giving you an entry either, because your structure, let's say we're going to use 3-minute structure. Okay, let's just pretend that I want to see 3-minute, because, and I probably would want to see at least 3-minute. And the reason why is because the overall narrative is up only, up only. We have a very bullish week ahead. We have the Ethereum ETFs. We have the Trump talking this week thing. And we know that whenever we have things like this, it is very much so, or could be very much so, reminiscent of buy the rumor, sell the news. So right now is buy the rumor mode. So we got to be careful with the shorts, okay? So I would want to see at the very least maybe a 2 to 3 minute market structure flip, or I would want to see confirmations using market cipher B. Okay? So now what do we see? On the 2-minute time frame or the 3-minute time frame, your structure is this. This is your structure currently, is this. So in order to justify the short using structure, you would need to close below this low. So that doesn't do us any good because that's already a whatever, however much percent move to the downside. So structure is essentially useless to us in this regard. What could we do to combat that? Well, we can analyze market cipher B now. Okay. So structure is out of the question. How can we use market cipher B? Well, we already know that, you know, the 4-hour, we're waiting for potentially our cheat sheet entry, and your cheat sheet entry could come, your 50 EMA is down here. Okay. So if we come down to here, which also happens to be lining up perfectly with our long zone, this is where your 4-hour cheat sheet entry could be, right? On the 2-hour time frame, excuse me, you know, we have the spike waves and whatever. So even this extremely biased move, because I shorted the top of a range and I collected 3%, why not? But even that move, you know, you have the spike wave, so you should be expecting that, right? and you just work your way down. What do we see here right now? What is a cheat sheet entry, okay? Cheat sheet entry is when you have thick money flow, you have vector candles that you can recover, and when price comes back into the 50 EMA and rejects the 50 EMA. What do we have here? We broke above the 50 EMA, true. Let's just pretend, okay? We're going to pretend. We're not going to be biased. We're playing pretend here. Let's just pretend that your 50 EMA was right here. What do we have? We have thick red money flow. We have red dot above the 0 line. We have price coming into the 50 EMA. We have vector candles that we can come and recover. So this would be a cheat sheet entry to send price lower in a zone that makes sense if the trade is going to play out. Remember, only if it's going to play out, not saying it is going to play out, okay? So we also have the golden pockets, and we already went over the volume. We have 2 point of controls in this order block. So right now, it is safer to assume that this order block is going to hold as opposed to it is not going to hold. And this goes back into my same thing with we do not long here. This is not a long zone. If you wanted to long, this is your long. I didn't take the long because I didn't have a long zone here. It's not part of my plan, so I didn't take it. Okay? Here, we do not long. We do not long there. You can. And if it goes to 100K from here, great. I'm looking for shorts here. If I'm scalping this range, which I'm not doing anymore. I'm looking for shorts because of what I just said, right? So now you can kind of come and you can analyze a market cipher across all the time frames and say this makes sense, that makes sense. We got these vectors, we don't have these vectors. We're getting the divergences and whatever. I'll tell you what I can see right now. What I can see right now on the 3-minute time frame is VWAP is starting to point down, okay? This is my biased eyes, my biased eyeballs. Your 3 hours pointing down, okay? Right now, objectively speaking, what do we have? Whether you like it or not, money over time, that doesn't mean that this is your 100% confirmation, but money flow over time is coming out, and you have, what do we have here? You have momentum making lower highs, while your price officially just made a higher high. So this is a spike wave. Now it's up to you to decide, do you want to enter based on this 3-minute spike wave at this zone where your point of control, where you have 2 point of controls and you have your golden pockets and you have your vectors that you can recover. Now is the point where you decide, all right, you know what? They granted me with this gift. We are now technically in the premium section of the range. Let me remind you that we are now in the premium section of the range. Look, if I pull the range, here's my range. You're above the 50% line. You're in premium. So we're looking for sells here. We're not looking for buys. Why would you buy in a premium? So now you got a 3-minute spike wave while you're in the premium, while you're in an order block that makes sense, while you're in an SFP zone, while you have 2 points of controls, your down volume that created that order block and your range point of control are both here. And you're getting spike waves, so you don't have the structure to work with, but you're getting not the best, right? It's still conflicting, but you're getting some warning signs at this level, okay? So if there's ever a trade to take, that doesn't mean we're taking it in this very moment, this very second, but now this is what your trade would look like, and this is how you can scalp it. And if you get the structure confirmation, you can put your, you should honestly probably keep your stop above the order block because things can change. But if you could also opt to do this if you wanted to. And then if you lose the trade and we come up higher, then you could take it again. Right? But apparently, because we're in a short zone again, and all I do is short, I'm biased. Apparently I'm biased because the 3-minute time frame is giving you spike waves. So I'm biased because I'm just only talking about the bearish scenarios. Come on, man. Feel like you're watching the boot camp. You basically are, bro. This is the boot camp in real time, man. This is boot camp in real time. We'll see what happens here. We got 54 minutes for this to be an SFP. 54 minutes, man. If I had to put my money on it, if I wasn't already short, then I would put my money on this order block holding. Because you should assume it holds more than you should assume it doesn't. That's for sure. I'm not looking along in a bearish order block that has 2 range points of controls, 2 golden pockets, 2 786s, an SFP zone above it while we're getting spike waves into it. I'm not looking along that. No way. I am looking along here. So do I care about this long? Did I care about this? You know what? Whoever took it, you got 2%. You just squeezed 2% out of it. Congrats. I'm so happy for you. I am so happy for you if you did that. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. If you got that. Beautiful. But do I care about trades like that? That's not a high probability setup to me. This is my idea. From way up here, my idea was to take the low. So we can only take profits along the way. You can only take profits along the way. And then if you get stopped out, you get stopped out. And that's the first thing I said this stream was that's what's been happening. The shorts have been hitting TP1 and then been getting stopped out. And then I haven't been in any longs because they're not coming to my long zones. And if they pump price here and I miss this move again, no problem. I'll catch the next one. But I'd rather not be in a long from here and it go up than be in a long from here and it go down because I didn't stick to my plan. And my invalidation is what the chart tells me. It is not based on somebody telling me that I'm triggered or somebody telling me that I'm biased. Like my invalidation is not, dude, you're biased. And that's something I preach all the time. People like in the Discord are like, man, should I get out? And I ask, I'm like, what's your invalidation? Is your invalidation structure or is your invalidation somebody saying that they went long against you or short against you? What's your invalidation? "30-minute bull div." Yeah, it's actually not only is it a 30-minute bull div, it is actually a 30-minute spike wave. This is a spike wave. You got money flow coming in, you got momentum coming in while price made a lower low. This is a spike wave. This is not just a normal divergence. This is a powerful signal to the upside. Very powerful signal. Okay. ETH. You think ETH? Yeah. You're right, Dave. You're right. We're done with it. Okay. Your invalidation is that Geo is bearish. I also find it funny, like bearish and bullish. I don't know, man. It just, those words invoke emotions. You know, those words invoke emotions. Like I would say cautious, and it's only because I know what the market can do, man. Last bull market, I made a lot of money, and then I lost a lot of money because I was taught by BitBoy to only long in a bull market. Fuck that. I can make money both ways. Anyway, you think Ethereum is going to 3514? 3514. Why? Is it because a golden pocket is there? Is that why? Yeah, probably. I don't know, man. Maybe. I'm not touching a trade there. And the reason why is because if you're following structure, your structure right now is this. So you actually had a break and then you had a retest. And then I'm sure on some lower time frame, you had a confirmation to send price higher. So technically, this is your targeted high right now for Ethereum. And if on Ethereum you do come up here, you're probably going to tap into this zone. You're probably going to come and take the high again on Ethereum. Right? We're probably going to. Gio, do I need a hug? Guys, I feel like I'm coming across as more triggered than I am. I'm genuinely good, man. Like I said, I've dealt with it, you know. I've been through the ringer. Look at where it bounced off of, the order block that we had here. Are we going down? Dude, I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I'll tell you right now that we're bouncing between supply. Here's your supply. And demand. This is all that we're doing. Within our range, we are now starting to range here. Are we going to break up or break down? I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you in the slightest. It could go either way. But with proper confirmations, we take the trade. Chris was popping. But anyways, I'm good, guys. I swear I'm good. I'm good. But we'll see. We'll see. Here's my opinion. I still like this low getting swept. I'm not trading this range. Even though we have supply and demand here, I'm not trading it. Because it's a very tricky range. It's a very wacky range. And yeah. It's a wacky looking range. I'm over the range. The moves have been happening on the weekend, so I've been missing longs. Shorts have been getting TP1 stop loss at entry. We got a very news-driven week. So until I can get a little bit more clarity, until when you ask me, are we going up or down? And I can say, here's what I think because of this reason, I'm fairly confident in it. I'm not gonna, like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. We could come up and take the high again. I thought this was the high. I thought that was the high and we were going to come touch this zone and we never did. And then we came right back up, right? So, you know. I am short, but I'm short from up here. And this was a trade setup that was in the VIP, right? I'm not shorting in the middle of the range. We're dead center in the middle of the range. I'm not shorting. I'm not longing here. I'm not shorting here. I shorted here. And then I took profit here. And then I re-shorted here. And then I took profit there. So my entry's like here. Stop loss is at entry. If I get stopped out, great. If I don't, even better. Right? But if I were to guess, my guess is that the plan remains and we come and take this low. But it's a guess. I can't tell you 100% it's going to happen. But this demand, or this supply zone rather, makes sense for me. It makes more sense for this to hold than it does for this to hold. For me, in my opinion. Because you got your range point of control here. You have your down volume point of control here. You got many golden pockets here. And we have this liquidity that has not been engineered. And we haven't hit this guy yet. And we're getting 3-minute spike waves up here. You know? So, and we have vector candles that we can recover. Does that mean that it happens? I couldn't tell you, man. Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. We'll have to wait and find out. Bum 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 bum. All right, guys, what time is it? It's 11:15. You guys know where I'm looking towards. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, cool. But under this, so we got the most important lines for me right now. Here's what I'm gonna leave you with. If we take the range high, I will look for shorts. If we take the range low, I will look for longs. Specifically, I'm looking down towards 65K. I like this yellow box a little bit better than I like coming back up to the highs. But we will have to wait and see. I'll take a look at Dixie real quick and then I will head out. Dixie. DXY. So Dixie, based on market Cipher, Dixie's looking like it's ready to get a move to the upside. 2 hour, we got spike wave divs on the 2 hour, right? We got money coming in on the 2 hour, but you also need to understand how market Cipher works alongside market structure. And if you're following the structure right now on Dixie, it is high, low, high, low, high, low, and we are currently at that level right now. So although market Cipher is looking a little bit bullish at this area, now is the point really where it's a decisional point for Dixie. Okay, it's a pretty big decisional moment, because if we take this high and we close above this high, then you will have a higher high to then make a higher low and then send price up higher. However, if we SFP this level, then it is likely that Dixie will come down and make a lower low and perhaps recover something that we may have left additionally within this. Is this a wick? Oh, this is a fake trend line. Let's see where it could come to. In the event that it decides to reject from here, where could we come? I mean, look at where we bounced off of, guys. We came down and perfectly hit this order block. And then we got this bounce from it, and market Cipher is looking bullish. My guess is that Dixie pushes out of here. I think Dixie breaks through. I think it's looking kind of bullish. Again, it very much so depends on what happens at this. It very much so depends on what's happening. What's happening at this high. So we got to watch this high. This is the decisional moment essentially for Dixie, right? This is a decision moment. Short ETH 3514 is your call. I'll keep that in my mind, my friend. Let's take a look here real quick. 3514. 3514. I don't know, bro. I don't know what you're seeing up here. I'm actually thinking if it's gonna come up and take the high again that it just took, I'm thinking it's probably gonna sweep all this liquidity. I don't really know the significance of 3514. At least I'm not seeing it. I'm not really seeing it. You could be right. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Have a good day. Trade safe. Be safe. And I will holler at you guys next time. Shouts out to Market Cipher, the sponsor of the channel. If you're interested in Market Cipher, the link is in the description down below. I'll see you next time. Set my heart on fire.